Terry Pinstripes podcast. This is going to be episode 3. I'm joined once again by my boy Dre, producer Dre, hanging out with us. We had a 4-game Pirates series, a 3-game Rockies series. Couple of notes right off the top here for this episode. We are recording this one right before the final game of the Rockies series. They've already won the series, but we got some warehouse stuff going down this weekend, so I am going to be at the warehouse for the off day. Won't be able to get something recorded then. And also, we have phone lines opened up now. Yes. We have phone lines opened up. If you have any thoughts or opinions on the Phils, want to get featured, I'm going to be reacting to some calls here moving forward every week. It's going to be a part of the show. 267-225-6377. That's 267-225-6377. You'll be greeted by my lovely voice. You can leave a message, and we'll get you on the show. Now, let's get into this Pirates series. 4-game series against the Pirates. They didn't lose the series. They didn't win the series either. They did get a split. Some interesting stuff happened. Let's go game by game here. Opening game of the series. Phillies took a 5-1 win. Started the series with a W. Jared Jones, friend, just stopped by the office this week. Jared Jones was on the mound. The Phillies did pull out the win there. That Jared Jones kid has been pitching great. Brandon Marsh, Bryson Stott had the 2-run homer in that game. Alec Boehm also went yard in this game. This was the infamous slug game with Rob Thompson pregame getting questioned about the lineup of game, and he simply said, "We're going to slug." And he's right. It's going to happen. It's going to come. Split with the Pirates, so they win the first game 5-1. Second game of the series, they drop. This was the Bailey Falter Revenge Tour. 5-2 win for the Pirates. Bailey Falter looked pretty good. Bryce Harper broke out of an 0-for-18 slump in this game. David Bednar, who we highlighted in the last podcast, he had just blown a save. He had that whole thing with Rowdy Tellez backing him up in the clubhouse. He gets into this series. He shut things down. He looked pretty good as well. Brian Reynolds, Connor Joe had RBIs in that game. Phils go down. That brought them to a 7-7 record at that point. 3-5 at home. Playing good on the road, but not so well at home. Game 3, they bounce back. They get the win. So they win the first 2 out of 3 of this series. Nick Castellanos hit the walk-off. This was a deep fly ball. Should have been a sacrifice fly, but it was one of those situations where the fielder didn't even run for it because it was deep enough. So walk-off single in the books for Nick Castellanos. Kyle Schwarber homered to lead off this ball game. Alec Boehm added another RBI in this game. RBI, Alec Boehm, runners in scoring position, Alec Boehm. Game 3 of the series goes to the Phils 4-3, and then that 4th game of the series, the Phils dropped 9-2. And there's something about these Zach Wheeler starts this year. They're kind of trendy. It goes south fast. Wheeler looked great. He had 10 strikeouts through 5 innings in this game, and then he came out, and it all just went downhill so quick. In the blink of an eye, the bases were loaded. I think it was 2 singles that didn't go too far and a walk. And then Jack Sawinski, first pitch of that at-bat, just rips a grand slam. And in the matter of 30 seconds, it went from Zach Wheeler's driving through this game to, oh, no, we're probably going to lose this game like that quick. And then the Pirates, just like that opening day game with the Braves, they ended up just pouring it on, and they got all the way up to 9. So they close out the series with a split. Also in that game, some fun, interesting stuff happened in the series. Andrew McCutcheon hit his 300th career home run in Pennsylvania. You know, if it's gonna happen, let it happen here in a blowout loss. Might as well get it done here. Give me something to clap about after a game like that. This was my notes after this game when I was sitting there watching it, along with obviously that spark inning with Jack Sawinski hitting the grand slam. Bryce Harper was really bad in this game. And I was saying online, not often is Bryce Harper like the worst player on the field. This was one of those games. 0-for-4, but I mean, couldn't even touch it. I mean, there was a couple strikeouts in there where he didn't have it. It wasn't there. And this was him at the end of this game, 2-for-30, batting 190 at the end of this game. And I mean, if you take the 3-homer game away, that's like a $160, $165. So 2-2 series there with the Pirates. They end that series with an 8-8 record, 4-6 at home. And then the Rockies came to town. And this is the team that you got to stomp on no matter what's going on, and they've done that so far here in the series. 2-1, game 1. They win in extra innings. Jackie Robinson Day. Christian Pache comes off the bench, rips a single through the hole with 2 outs, wins that ball game in extras. And then the second game of the series was the Ranger Suarez game, where our guy Bryce Harper broke out. Had another explosion game. Bryce Harper with a big home run. Ranger Suarez goes complete game shutout in this one. 9 clean. He's looked great all season long. Ranger Suarez is really locking in. Every year that goes by, he seems to get more and more comfortable. Last year, he started the season hurt. He missed the first month or so he really never even got the opportunity to play the whole season. But this year, healthy. He had a great spring. He's off to a great start. The ERA sitting at 1.88 after the complete game, and his baseball savant page is so impressive. He's in the 98th percentile in average exit velo, just 81 miles per hour is the average exit velo on Ranger Suarez. I was just talking to Dalt before we started recording. 87 miles per hour led the league last year. Wow. 81. And another thing I was just talking to Dalt about, just a few weeks ago, they interviewed a few guys on the Braves about what pitchers they least like to face. And their lists were full of Cy Young winners. And for a couple of guys, most notably for me that I'm remembering off the top of my head, Michael Harris, Ranger Suarez was at the top of the list. And there's just something about the way this guy throws. He's a 5-pitch guy, cutter, sinker, changeup, curveball. The changeup is the difference maker, though, because he can throw it at any point in any at-bat, 2-0, 2-1, 3-0, 3-1. You can't sit on anything with this guy. There's movement there. He's so fun to watch. He became a fan favorite with the celebrations post-game during the World Series run. I love watching Ranger Suarez pitch. I'm fresh off the Ranger Suarez game here. Phil's at this point, they take 2 out of 3, hopefully a sweep by the time you guys are listening to this, and they split the series. With the Pirates, they got a day off on Thursday, and then you have a 3-game series to finish the homestand against the Chicago White Sox. Before we move on into that White Sox series, we're also going to do a minor league recap here at the end of the episode as well, talk about a few guys. Going to note a little bit of minor league here before we get to the end of it. Orion Kerkering is now on the major league roster down in the minors. I had him noted as a minor league guy. When I started my notes, he was down there. Now he's on the big league club. He has registered an inning as well. 10 strikeouts in his first 4 innings of minor league work. We know all about the breaking ball. He almost turned into primarily a breaking ball guy down the stretch last year and in the playoffs. He was throwing it 70-75% of the time. Now he's dotting that, and he's 96, 97. That's why the potential's there. The breaking ball is good, and he throws hard. But can he locate the fastball? When he's locating the fastball, he's borderline untouchable. This is a huge reason why the Phillies didn't go out and spend money on bullpen. Orion Kerkering could slide into a major role here right behind Jeff Hoffman and Jose Alvarado. He looked good in the minors. He's now up on the big league club. Bryce Harper, we talked about him a little bit. Hopefully that big game there in the Rocky series can get him going. Nick Castellanos, he had the walk-off, but he's batting $169 at the time we're recording this. Not looking good. He had that whole meme going on Twitter the other day, chasing that Justin Lawrence slider that didn't even touch the outside of the batter's box, let alone the inside. But that's Nick. We said it last week. You know what you're signing up for. When he's hot, it's electric. When he's cold, that's exactly what it is. He's falling over, swinging at those breaking balls. He gets dead red fastball sometimes, but it is what it is. Phils have not won a Zach Wheeler start this season, and they're frustrating games because they're winnable. It's like we all those years making fun of the Mets for not scoring runs on DeGrom. I hope this doesn't become a trend. I can't live in that reality. I spent too much time joking about something like this. He's so good. We got to start racking up the wins when Zach Wheeler's pitching. It's a guaranteed 6 and 7 innings. You're in the game. Got to happen. Brandon Marsh. Wanted to talk about Brandon Marsh last week. Kind of forgot about him. Happy I waited because during this 7 games, he has slid up the lineup. Brandon Marsh has jumped up. He's batting 6. Last week I was going to talk about whether or not he should be in the lineup more. Now, not only is he locked in now, he's jumped up into the meat of the lineup. Brandon Marsh off to a great start this season. Yesterday, last time I checked, he was batting .370 on balls in play. Brandon Marsh, and he uses the other field. Philly's got a lot of guys on their team. Brandon Marsh, Alec Boehm, JT Realmuto, Bryson Stott, that can go the other way really well. Even Bryce Harper, when he's hot, can go the other way really well. But they got to start getting some long ball going. Brandon Marsh up in the middle of the lineup. It would be nice to see Nick Castellanos get hot, whether he's batting right in front of him or right behind him. Them two going would be great. Also, Christian Pache had that walk-off in the Jackie Robinson Day game. That swing was confident. And once again, we're on social media, Phillies social media, Christian Pache, Johan Rojas, Whit Merrifield. Who's getting these at-bats? It's the most passionate conversation in Phillies Twitter right now. I'm just happy that, like, the big question mark with the roster is the 9-hole. That's the biggest concern with this roster is the 9-hole. But I will say, sometimes Johan Rojas looks like he wants a walk. Sometimes he's up there and he's hoping that he doesn't even have to swing. Pache comes off the bench and he's hacking, man. The results aren't always there, but the one thing about Christian Pache is he takes confident swings, and he's starting to win me over. I kind of want to see Christian Pache play a little bit more. Taijuan Walker made a minor league rehab start, I believe yesterday. 3 hits, 3 walks, one strikeout over 3 innings. So I don't know what they're going to do with that in the Spencer Turnbull situation. Turnbull didn't have his greatest start last time out, but he has pitched good here to start the season. You're paying Taijuan Walker a ton of money. That's the one contract here over the last few years that hasn't really worked out for the Phils. Schwarber was a hit. Castellanos has been up and down, but we've noted before he's hitting the playoffs. In my book, so far, this team's been good. He's showed up in big moments. I'm not going to mark Castellanos as an L. This Taijuan Walker contract could really hurt this team if he doesn't start pitching, because you sign him to chew innings. You don't expect him to come here and be a Cy Young guy. I know they're pitching him as a free agent last year. So he made the All-Star team. He had a great first half. Let's be honest. Anyone can make the All-Star team if they have a good April and May, because that's when the ballots come out. The All-Star game isn't really an indicator. I need Taijuan Walker pitching 160 innings, even if it's at a 4.4, 4.5 ERA pace. I need him pitching, because now we're relying on a Spencer Turnbull, which could go bad. We're sitting here talking about whether or not it should be Taijuan Walker or if Spencer Turnbull should just keep going. That shouldn't be the conversation on a guy making almost $20 million a year. So we'll see what's going on with Taijuan Walker. He's probably obviously going to get more innings, at least in the minors, before he comes up, if he doesn't come up soon. Matt Strahm gave up runs on opening day, has not given up runs since. He had an appearance in that Pirates series where he struck out 5 consecutive batters. Just a dominant 2-inning appearance. Matt Strahm's another guy I like watching. He's got good energy when he's out there. He walks with a little bit of a strut. He's a little guy. Kind of like Joe Kelly. Not all the way Joe Kelly energy. Not as aggressive, but he walks around with a little strut. I like watching him pitch. Junior Marte gave up his first runs of the season, but he's looked great. Someone we've noted since spring training could be a difference maker with the depth of the bullpen. So yeah, the Phils, great. In my opinion, we said last week, 4 wins in this series. We're probably happy with it. 5 wins, I'm ecstatic. Hopefully by the time you guys are listening to this, it was a 5-win homestand going into this White Sox set. I'm going to go ahead and pull the White Sox up now. The Wheeler wins coming this weekend. We got Garrett Crochet versus Spencer Turnbull. Then we're going to have Mike Soroka, familiar with the NL East, though, at least, is going to get lined up with Zach Wheeler. And then you have Nastrini and Aaron Nola going in the 1 o'clock game on Sunday. The White Sox right now are 2-14. So much like the Rockies, you got to take care of business. Especially with the 2 aces lined up the pits this weekend. Go out, get the job done on Friday, and then you roll into the weekend with your guys ready to rock and see what happens. You know, this team is playing pretty good right now in my book. There's a couple guys that could step up, Nick Castellanos, but the pitching staff's been great. Got to win the Wheeler games, but individually, everyone's pitching good. You're getting good starts from 4 and 5 in the rotation. You got the first 2 dudes out of the bullpen have been electric so far. Jose Alvarado's been great on the back end. Not really many complaints other than Nick Castellanos and Bryce Harper. Let's see him carry the load a little bit. It's coming. It's early. I'm not someone who's going to harp on it for too long because it's going to come. Just hope it comes sooner than later. Let's talk about some minor leaguers a little bit now. We'll wrap things up down here. We're going to highlight 3 guys that are towards the top of the list for the Phillies in their minor league system. Mick Abel had a really good spring training. And then he also pitched pretty good in that spring breakout series that Major League Baseball did until Spencer Turnbull got pulled into the mix. And even after Spencer Turnbull got pulled into the mix, Mick Abel was in consideration for that 5th starting rotation spot, getting a start. They decided to send him down in the minor leagues, get a little bit more seasoning. He's walking guys again a little bit. That was his problem last year. Walking guys, and then he'll have that big splash inning, almost Aaron Nola-like, if he could just keep the walks down. That sinker it's a bowling ball, and he's gone through stretches where it's really good, and then he goes through stretches like this where, 3-4 walks a game, and it's just biting him. So we'll see. We're going to keep an eye on Mick Abel. I do wholeheartedly believe we will see him this season at some point. So we'll keep tabs on him. We'll know what's up before he gets up here. We'll keep tabs. And then also Aiden Miller. And this is an interesting one because the Phillies can and are lining this up for him to just replace Alec Bohm if it works out. We had the whole Alec Bohm won his arbitration case with the Phillies in the offseason. He's got 2 years left, 2 more arbitration seasons. Aiden Miller's all the way down in Clearwater in single A, but this kid's good. This kid's really good. I haven't been this excited about a Phillies prospect in a long time. And I was Bryson Stott biased, but I think I'm a little bit higher on Aiden Miller than I even was on Bryson Stott. The swing is crazy. He hit a home run the other day, right center field, oppo, like a solid 420, and it was smooth. I love watching him hit. It's just 2 years from now, you let this kid go a little bit. If all things are firing and things go according to plan, I think Alec Bohm just walks in 2 years, and the replacement's already here. Keep tabs on Aiden Miller. You Phillies fans, if you're not keeping up with the minor leagues, if you're not watching minor leagues, check in on those Clearwater Thrashers a little bit this season. Aiden Miller's he's gonna put on a show down there. And then also Justin Crawford. We are the Philadelphia Vegas factory now. Justin Crawford's off to a good start, batting .300 with a couple of homers, .950 OPS. Phillies fans are excited about him. I see his name thrown around in the trades a little bit, though. I think that's also just Phillies fans not wanting to trade Andy Painter. So anytime like a mock trade comes out, we'll trade Justin Crawford. I don't want to get rid of Andrew Painter. We'll trade Justin Crawford. This kid looks good too. It's been a long time since I was excited about the crop of minor leaguers that the Phillies have. Actually, it's the first time in my life I've ever been excited about like the crop of minor leaguers that the Phillies have. And I mean that. It's been 20 years. We don't put them together like this. Aiden, Crawford, Mick Abel's got some potential. I love Kerkering stuff. We don't usually see guys get developed as relief pitchers. Usually most relief pitchers are failed starters. Jeff Hoffman right now on our team. Josh Hader, a lot of people don't know, used to be a starter. We're just producing Orion Kerkering. Where did this guy come? I said it's legend. Where did this guy come from? I love it. So there's your minor league report there. Cherry Pinstripes. Once again, we have the hotlines open. If you'd like to be featured on the show, we're going to start reacting to some hotline calls, extending the show, getting you guys involved. You can call us 267-225-6377, 267-225-6377. Say hello. Let's talk Phils. Make sure you guys are following us on all platforms. Cherry Pinstripes, YouTube, Spotify, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We're having some fun. 3-game set against the White Sox. Dre, I appreciate you hanging out.
Let's get a sweep.
Yep, big sweep coming up. Need it. We'll be back recapping again next week, guys. Warehouse games. Again, we're recording this a day early because warehouse games. I'm going to be at the warehouse this weekend. Make sure you go subscribe. If you're here and you don't know what that is, go dabble. It's a lot of fun. See you guys in the next one.